Alright, fight fans. On January 24th at UFC 324, in the co-main event, two of the most compelling forces in the Bantamweight division will collide. A man that turned highlight reel knockouts and viral fame into a championship belt. In the other, a challenger from China who has methodically evolved from a regional prospect into a complete mixed martial artist. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. This is more than a fight. It's a definitive test for both men. To understand what this moment means, you have to understand the journeys that brought them here. Sean O'Malley's story is one of undeniable talent seeking the right outlet. A natural athlete from Montana, he found the structure of team sports and traditional school life confining. MMA offered what basketball or football could not: singular accountability. His raw skill was obvious, but the path from a small-town gym to the big stage required a leap of faith. That meant leaving home for the MMA lab in Arizona, living and training with coach Tim Welch, splitting rent for apartments. After going 8-0 in the regional circuit, including a viral knockout in LFA, Sean O'Malley got his shot on Dana White Contender Series in 2017. His spectacular knockout earned him a UFC contract and announced his arrival to the world. The UFC had found a new star, charismatic, flashy, and with a knockout style built for highlights. After his Contender Series debut, he embarked on a run in the UFC that was as strategic as it was thrilling. He won his debut over veteran Terrion Ware. Then, he defeated fellow prospect Andre Solcatai in a fight of the night scrap. He showcased his surgical striking against Jose Quinones, and then delivered one of the most iconic one-punch knockouts against Eddie Wineland. He then lost to Chito Vera, but bounced back with 3 straight wins, finishing Thomas Almeida, Chris Moutinho, and Raulian Paiva. He had his biggest step up in competition when he faced former champion Peter Yan. He won by a controversial split decision, but he showed that he is capable of competing at the highest level. His crowning achievement was a knockout win against the dominant champion, Aljamain Sterling, a fight he won in just 51 seconds to capture the title. He defended the title and avenged his loss to Marlon Chito Vera. However, back-to-back championship losses to the relentless machine Merab Dvalishvili exposed a vulnerability. Now, the former champion is in a position he's rarely been in. He needs a statement win to climb back to the top. 6,000 miles away, Song's journey began in the northeastern Chinese city of Harbin. His inspiration wasn't a local gym, but the kung fu movies he watched as a boy. Idolizing stars like Jet Li, that dream led him to a Shaolin martial arts school at just 9 years old. But the young boy quickly realized he was drawn to real combat. By 13, he found his calling in the competitive full-contact sport of Sanda. He turned professional as a teenager and dominated the Chinese regional scene across RUF, WLF, and Kunlun fight. His big break came on short notice in November 2017, with UFC making its historic debut in Shanghai. A 19-year-old Song walked out to the Journey to the West theme song, and in front of a roaring home crowd, he delivered. That victory set the tone for a relentless rise. He followed it with another bonus-winning finish, a last-second elbow knockout of Felipe Arantes. A major turning point for his career was joining Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, transforming from a pure striker into a well-rounded mixed martial artist under the guidance of UFC veteran Uriah Faber. He began stacking wins against increasingly tough competition, from Chito Vera to a brutal knockout of former title challenger Marlon Moraes that catapulted him into the top 10. But his true growth came from setbacks. The narrow loss to Corey Sandhagen and the competitive battle with Peter Yang weren't endpoints. They were lessons. After his loss to Sandhagen, he bounced back with 2 straight wins over top 15 talents like Ricky Simon and Chris Gutierrez. His recent clear-cut victory over former champion Henry Cejudo was the ultimate validation. Still only 28 and ranked number 5. He stands as China's highest-ranked male UFC fighter ever. For him, a win doesn't just advance him, it makes him a title contender. Outside the octagon, no fighter leverages the digital landscape like Sean O'Malley. Just recently, he sent the sports world into a frenzy by appearing to get a massive Doing Well sponsorship tattoo on his forehead, claiming an 8-figure deal. It dominated headlines for days, a classic O'Malley move that blended audacity with shrewd marketing. He later admitted it was a publicity stunt that worked beautifully. This is the Sugar Show. Unpredictable, entertaining, and always driving the conversation. This vibrant online persona doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It often pulls his opponents into its orbit. Song, once a more reserved figure through an interpreter, has embraced this new landscape. He now confidently conducts all his media interviews in English,
top 5 and to get the title, so I have to win this one.
showcasing a sharper personality and connecting directly with fans. And in a hilarious nod to the modern fight game, he released a viral training video where he relentlessly knocked out a series of training partners, all wearing Sean O'Malley masks. It was a funny, clever piece of content that showed he understands the game beyond the gym walls, while O'Malley creates the spectacle. Song has learned to play along, expanding his own fanbase in the process. Inside the cage, this fight presents a fascinating strategic puzzle. So how do these two fighters match up? Let's take a look at their strengths and weaknesses. Sean O'Malley is a long-range striking maestro. With a 5'11" frame and a 72-inch reach, he controls distance like few others. He operates with high volume and sniper-like precision, landing over 6 significant strikes per minute with 61% accuracy. His game is built on rhythm, creative movement, and making opponents pay for trying to close the gap. Song knows the stats favor O'Malley on the feet. This is precisely why his entire camp has been a calculated shift away from his own striking roots. He is no longer just a kung fu kid with heavy hands. He has spent months adding layers of wrestling and judo to his arsenal, recognizing that the path to victory likely goes through the grind. Adding the takedown threat will allow him to have more success on the feet. The central question is clear. Can O'Malley use his reach and elite striking to keep Song at the end of his punches and avoid the takedown? Or will Song's new, well-rounded pressure be the key, walking O'Malley down, testing his grappling defense, and dragging him into deep water? The bantamweight throne now belongs to Peter Young, who reclaimed the championship. For the UFC, this fight is a clarity maker in a reshuffled division. If Sean O'Malley wins impressively, he instantly rebuilds his narrative, given his massive drawing power. The road back to a rematch with Peter Young could be very short. With an impressive win, he can very well challenge for the title on the UFC White House card. If Song wins, he doesn't just beat a former champion, he validates his entire philosophy of evolution. A victory would be the ultimate reward for his work at Team Alpha Male and his surgical game plan. It would launch China's top male fighter into his first UFC title shot, creating a historic moment for the sport globally. Two paths have converged at this crossroads. One fighter seeks to use his old brilliance to reclaim his kingdom. The other seeks to unveil his new skills to build a kingdom of his own. At UFC 324, we find out which journey takes the definitive turn back toward championship gold. The stakes are set. The storylines are clear. Now, it's time to fight. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.